Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jeff Annis, and I am the proud mayor of Mapleton. And I want to welcome you to the 148th annual Burns Night celebration. We have a great Burns board that has put a lot of time and effort into tonight's program, and I truly think you'll enjoy it. So thank you to all those individuals who have been involved in coordinating this event so Mapleton can continue to celebrate its rich tradition. It's because of many of those individuals that Mapleton is able to hold the oldest continuous celebration in the state of Minnesota. Tonight, we will crown our 59th Miss Bonnie Lass. So good luck to those contestants, and realize, I think, that you're becoming a part of a very special tradition. This weekend is a great time to remember all things Scottish, the heritage that makes up so much of Mapleton's ancestry. What an accomplishment to keep this celebration alive. And so, to the Maple River Burns members, past and present, you have my gratitude for keeping this tradition alive. Tonight we honor the Scottish poet Robert Burns. We'll be celebrating with things Scottish, like poetry, music, dancing, curling, bagpipes, bravery, just like they did in 1856. You'll notice some big changes and some little ones, and I think they're all good, and I think you'll be in, again, for a very good treat tonight. One note, if you didn't get the pin, because we didn't have them right away, make sure when you go back for the clan gathering, you get your annual Maple River Burns Club pin. Real quick, foundation update. Remember, we started the foundation. We have slightly over $18,000, earning us about $500 every year to reinvest. So if you want to learn more about it or want to contribute, we have flyers back at the clan gathering. Once again, we are blessed to have a veteran MC and keeping this Burns tradition alive. John Stevens is here for his 18th time serving as MC. John is a 1980 grad of Mapleton and then went on to graduate from Mankato State with a degree in history and business finance. Growing up Scottish heritage, he played an important role in his life as he and his sister Joy played the drums and Jay played the bagpipes. John is married to a wife, Chris. They have two grown children, Andrew and David. He is currently the senior manager, director of Nuvina. So thank you, John, for agreeing to continue to be our MC. And so I want, please, let's give John a nice, warm Maple River Burns Club welcome.
Thank you so much, Jeff. And I do wonder, because even though I live in the Twin Cities, I get the Maple River paper, so I can keep up to date on everything that's going on. And Jeff, being the mayor now and all the other things you do since you're retired, you see Jeff's picture a lot, right, in the paper. But something's wrong, because you know whose picture I see way more? Jim Swanson. Start counting. Jim, I'm sure you're out there. He'll probably have his picture taken tonight. It'll be like the Queen and Jim Swanson. So Jeff, step it up, step it up. So Jeff covered a little bit about our heritage, and many of you know about it. But you know, it's always a question, there's always some new people here, or people who don't really listen to the first 3 minutes of my speech every year. But why Robert Burns? A poor farmer from the late 1700s in Scotland, why Robert Burns? And it's interesting. He grew up during both the American and French revolutions, and that also was a driver in his life. But his first poems he wrote when he was 15, when he fell in love. Red, Red Rose. And he looked at different, because of love life and everything else, he thought about, you know, going to Jamaica. Luckily, that fell apart. He probably would have died there. And he ended up moving to Edinburgh and writing his first book of poetry that became a hit. made him extremely famous. And he was famous as a poet because he was able to be both simple and rural and complex with heart and love. And it caught the imagination of the Scots and the Brits across the Isles. And over time, he became so famous that he actually made a lot of money and then he lost a lot of money. But he also collected all kinds of he puts all kinds of poetry to all folk hymns or folk songs. And that's where Auld Lang Syne came from. So he was instrumental, and he became really a national and is a national hero for the Scots people. Of course, that's a big part of our heritage. And today he has like 900 living direct relatives. And when he died, a poor person, 10,000 people showed up at his funeral. Put your mind around that. 10,000 people. So that's why Robert Burns, and we're one of hundreds of celebrations celebrating Robert Burns' birthday, January 25th, around the world. I like to think we do a little bit different than anybody else. It's a little weird slice of Americana right here, celebrating a Scottish poet. And you get off because we have somebody who's going to read poetry tonight, so I don't have to do it. They're slowly cutting things out of my repertoire. So someday, like, we'll find somebody else to do jokes for you. Then it's like, all right, super easy. So I want you to sit back and relax, enjoy the music and the dancing and the piping and the singing and the curling trophies. Don't worry about the time, just relax. We're not in front of a TV set. You know, you don't have any place to go. It's cold out there. So let's jump into it. Talking about jokes, last year I got done, and I don't know, maybe there were 2 or 3 of you came up to me and said, you know, John, jokes weren't so good this year. So I worked extra hard. And so I thought, there is actually a bookstore in Egan, a physical bookstore. Do anybody know what they are? Does anybody go to? I went to a bookstore looking for a joke book. I said, this will do it. This will turn the tide. So I got home and I opened up what I bought. I bought a thesaurus. I can't even say it. And so you can imagine how I felt. I was pretty crushed, upset, disappointed, vexed, discombobulated. That was the joke. That was the joke right there. Unfortunately, tonight, my dearest friends, next door neighbors, were going to come down with my wife to see the show. They're going to sit in those seats right there, Jeff, right there where you're sitting. But my next door neighbor, Stacy, got COVID 2 days ago, so they couldn't make it. But if they are watching on TV or on the internet, I was talking to Stacy because Mark just retired. And so I was asking her, like, how's it going for you? And she said, well, I look at it this way. I have twice as much husband with half the income. So, a couple of stories about Scots and money. Old Angus MacLeod, he was terminally ill. And he was plotting and plotting, you know, like when people say you can't take it with you, he wanted to prove them wrong. So he kept thinking about it and thinking about it. And so he had his wife go to the bank in town and get 2 big old sacks of money. And she came back and he goes, okay, go into the attic right above my bed and put that money right in the attic. So when I die and go to heaven, I'll just take the money with me. So she goes up and does it. A couple days later, he's dead. So his wife's like, I should go back upstairs. She would clean up in the attic, and oh yeah, those 2 bags of money. She picks them up and she thought to herself, you old fool, I knew I should have put them in the basement. coming along. He isn't coming along. And then the other story about money was Jacques, a Scottish painter. And did I see Pete Helt here? Maybe I didn't see Pete Helt. Pete Helt was a painter. But he thought he could make money stretch a little further by just thinning out his paint a little bit. So that was kind of his approach, and that worked pretty well. Anyway, one day he gets this contract to paint the Presbyterian church, the entire church outside. Big deal for him. So he's getting his paints ready, and he's looking around, so he thins out his paints a little bit, thins them out, gets up on the scaffolding, and he's painting away, and all of a sudden, crash, boom, just this bolt of lightning knocks him right off of the scaffolding, and he knows it's the Almighty himself. And he's shaking and he's shaking. What should I do? I'll do anything. And a voice from above says, repaint, repaint, and thin no more. All right. Hey, it's going to get better. I'm here all night. All right, we're going to get dancing. Hopefully my dancers are ready. Hello, dancers. All right, so we're going to do the first dance. Always the first dance is the Truibhas, which is the intro, kind of the first dance the dancers always learn. It's like the first step and a half of the sword dance. So always a crowd favorite with the young uns, Truibhas.
And Colton Bundy.
I've noticed after all the years, they normally don't like to leave the stage. They're out there like, ooh, it's so much fun. So I was thinking, like 20 years ago, we had people like Johnny Cash, right? Bob Hope, Steve Jobs. And what do we have today? No cash. No hope, no jobs. So it got me thinking, God, please don't let Kevin Bacon die. Because he doesn't like bacon. Bacon owns everything but soup. I don't like bacon and soup. Next up, we have the Highland fling, 4-step. Of course, there's a number of stories about the Highland fling and what the dance means. I think one of the more fun ones is it's an imitation of antlers and deers running across a prairie and through the woods and with their hands up in the air. So maybe that imagery will help you tonight. Watch a Highland fling 4-step.
Dancing the 4-step Highland Flames, Grayson Bundy, Anna Davis, Emerson Stock, Mackenzie Brokoff, and Sarah Davis.
right. Well, let's get up those queen candidates up here and let them introduce themselves. We have 4 candidates tonight, and we'll have you come to the stage.
Switzenberg, daughter of Phil and Brooke Nino and Jared Switzenberg. Shaylee Bear, daughter of Brad and Leslie Bear.
Maya Garvis, daughter of Tara and Eric Garvis.
I just didn't think that was right. Right, Mom and Dad? All right, before the next dance, did you hear about the guy who invented the hokey pokey? When he died, they could not close his coffin because every time they put his right foot in, his left foot came out. I could do this all night. All right, Dusty Miller. So the Dusty Miller is the next dance. It's also known as one of the national dances for the country of Scotland. So here we go, the Dusty Miller.
Dancing the Dusty Miller is Scarlett Ruck, Maya Bundy, Mara Langworthy, Nora Lanou, Charlotte Bach, Ava Bruckoff, and Bryn Nino.
All right, well, tonight we're going to do this a few times. Apparently this just came in. Jeff called me last week and said, watch out so you don't get hit in the head, and fill about a minute while this thing comes down. So don't look at that, look at me, look at me. One of the things, you know, when you get older, right, Jeff? When you get older, you got to keep working out. And so I wanted to tell you, this crowd, I kind of came up with a new exercise program that I think will benefit you. So it's pretty straightforward. So I started with 5-pound potato sacks, right? And then I hold them up like this for as long as I can. All right, you do that for a while. Then you move up to 10-pound sacks, 50-pound sacks, and finally I got to 100-pound sacks, and I could hold my hands out like this for a minute. After that, I started putting potatoes in the sacks. Then it got harder. All right. So we started this, I think we started this tradition with having speeches or videos of our past queens each decade from this year. I think we started that in the infamous pandemic year where we had like 20 people in the old gymnasium, the weirdest show ever. Anyway, this is a great idea. And so we're going to start tonight with our queens from 2014 and 2004, Emily Larson and Samantha Drinkwater. Here we go.
Hi everyone, I'm Emily Larson Holmes and I was Miss Bonnie Lass in 2014. Since getting crowned, I got married in 2016 and moved out to Cupertino, California with my husband Tyler, where we still live with our 2 daughters. My husband is an engineer at Apple, and I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I also lead the children's ministry team at our church. Being crowned Miss Bonnie Lass was really special to me because it's something that I had been dreaming about ever since I was a little girl when I got to try on my mom's Bonnie Lass crown for the first time. I grew up Scottish dancing every year at Burns and watching my mom line up with the other past queens, and I remember being so excited to hopefully stand up alongside her one day and to continue that legacy. I want to advise this year's court to really embrace the opportunity that you have to represent the history and traditions of our community. You may not be spending your year in fancy dresses, but you do get to be part of an exclusive group of people who can say that they've spent a summer on the back of a parade float wearing wool and velvet, and I think that's pretty cool. Best of luck to this year's candidates, and I hope you really enjoy your year representing your community.
Good evening, Burns family. This is Sammy Drinkwater, Miss Bonnie Lass 2004. I beg of you, please don't bother to do the math. I've already done it for you. It was just 4 short years ago. You can trust me on that. First and foremost, I just want to give a quick thank you to everyone who helped make tonight happen. Our Maple River Burns Club, all of the musicians, dancers, singers, speakers, our MC, and of course our curlers competing this weekend. I know they've worked tirelessly, so thank you, thank you, thank you for help keeping our amazing traditions alive. To all the lovely candidates, I want to wish you the best of luck tonight. Regardless of the outcome, this will be a night you will never forget, so please take a deep breath and try to soak it all in. I have a hard time finding just one thing about my time in Miss Bonnie Lass that I enjoyed the most, but a few things that stuck out, of course, were our tea, where we were able to connect with so many of the past contestants. Our parades were always so much fun. They usually involve me running from either a marching band performance or a softball game to throw on my kilt and catch the float. But the best part, I think, was the court of ladies that were along beside me for the entire time. Cassie Johnson, Chelsea Evans, and Danny Fisher. You guys were awesome. Since my time as Miss Bonnie Lass, I attended Concordia College at Moorhead, Minnesota, and I received my bachelor's degree in business management and psychology. This is where I met my now husband, and we moved down to Denver, Colorado shortly after graduation. While in Denver, we started our family, and I was fortunate enough to be able to stay at home to help raise our kids for the first few years. A little over 3 years ago, we moved to Rowlett, Texas, which is just northeast of Dallas. I currently work as a manager over our implementation department at a human capital management company, and I've been here for just over 9 years. My husband, Ryan, is an engineer, and he's currently developing an app to help serve our police force. Our daughter, Alexa, is 14, and she's in the 8th grade. She enjoys reading, volleyball, track, and shopping. And our son, Asa, is 11, and he's in the 5th grade. He loves playing all sports, but particularly loves football and track. Thank you for the opportunity to share a quick update. I wish I could be there to celebrate with everyone in person. I hope you all enjoy this evening's festivities, and best of luck to the candidates tonight.
So, there we go. You got to be ready for anything. Well, we have a special treat tonight. We have our own poet to read a number of Robert Burns's poetry tonight. Richard Stokes. He's from England, currently living in Mankato, and I'm very excited to hear just what he can bring to the bard's words. Richard Stokes.
Thank you. You'll be pleased to hear it's only 2 poems, not a number of poems, so just 2. The first one, To a Mouse, which is about an encounter Robert Burns had with a mouse while he was ploughing, which would have been by hand ploughing, rather than with a, what do you have, what kind of Ford or whatever you use now. Wee sleek-kit cowrin timorous beastie, oh, what a panic's in thy breastie. Thou needna start away so hasty with bickering brattle. I would be loath to run and chase thee with murdering prattle. I'm truly sorry, man's dominion has broken nature's social union and justifies that ill opinion which makes thee startle at me, thy poor or earth-born companion and fellow mortal. I doubt not, Willis, but thou may thieve. What then? Poor beastie, thou maun live. A dame, a knicker, and a thrave's a small request. I'll get a blessing with the lave and never miss it. Thy wee bit housey too, in ruin, its silly ways, the winds are strewing, and nothing now to build a new one of foggage green. And bleak December's winds ensuing both snell and keen. Thou saw the fields laid bare and waste, and weary winter coming fast, and cosy here beneath the blast thou thought to dwell, till crash, the cruel coulter passed out through thy cell. That wee bit heap of leaves and stibble has cost thee many a weary nibble. Now thou's turned out for all thy trouble, but house or hold, the whole winter's sleety dribble and crannock cold. But Mousie, thou art not thy lane, improving foresight may be vain. The best laid schemes of mice and men gang off to gley, and leave us nought but grief and pain for promised joy. Still, thou art blessed compared with me. The present only touches thee. But och, I backward cast my eye on prospects drear, and forward, though I cannot see, I guess and fear. The next one is about judging other people, which obviously wouldn't apply to anyone here. Addressed to the unco good or the religiously righteous. Oh, ye who are so good yourself, so pious and so holy, you've naught to do but mark and tell your neighbours' faults and folly, whose life is like a wheel-gone mill supplied with store of water, the heaped happers ebbing still, and still the clap plays clatter. Hear me, ye venerable core, as counsel for poor mortals, that frequent past douce wisdom's door for glacket folly's portals. I, for their thoughtless, careless sakes, would here propone defences, their donsy tricks, their black mistakes, their failings and mischances. You see your state with theirs compared and shudder at the niffer. But cast a moment's fair regard, what makes the mighty differ? Discount what scant occasion gave that purity you pride in, and what's half more than all the lave, your better heart art of hiding. Think, when your castigated pulse gives now and then a wallop, what ragings must his veins convulse that still eternal gallop? With wind and tide fair in your tail, right on you scud your seaway, but in the teeth of both to sail, it makes an unco leeway. See social life and glee sit down, all joyous and unthinking, till, quite transmugrified, they're grown debauchery and drinking. Oh, would they stay to calculate the eternal consequences? Or, your more dreaded hell to state, damnation of expenses. Ye high exalted virtuous dames, tied up in godly laces, before you give poor frailty names, suppose a change of cases. A dear loved lad, convenient snug, a treacherous inclination, but let me whisper in your lug, your ablins near temptation. Then gently scan your brother man, still gentler sister woman, though they may gang a kenning rang, to step aside is human. One point must still be greatly dark, the moving, why they do it. And just as lamely can you mark how far perhaps they rue it. Who made the heart? 'Tis he alone decidedly can try us. He knows each chord, its various tone, each spring, its various bias. Then at the balance, let's be mute. We never can adjust it. What's done we may partly compute, but know not what's resisted.
Fantastic.
Come on, I was almost that good. I was almost that good, I thought. No, maybe not. So my lovely sister Joy and her husband Jim been married over 40 years, I think. Anyway, I got told this story over Christmas when they were visiting. Joy sometimes is not the best driver or knows mechanicals and all that. So she called up Jim and she said, Jim, I can't start the car. And he goes, well, okay. She goes, I think there's water in the carburetor. Jim goes, what? Water in the carburetor? These new cars, that's just not, no, there's water in the carburetor, Jim. And he goes, how do you know there's water in the carburetor? Because the car's in the lake. All right, we're going to do the first of a number of sword dances. So this is the broadsword dance. And the traditional viewpoint, almost all the sword dances, I mean, there's a couple of other stories I'll talk about, but the most known one is as they go inside the sword before the before the battle, if they kick the sword, if they touch the sword, not so good luck. So if you can miss the sword, do the dance, good luck. So a lot of pressure on the dancers tonight. Don't hit those swords. Here we come with the broadsword dance.
Dancing the broadsword tonight is Kaya Wenner, Ami Yeager, Autumn Gall, Maya Garbus, Caitlin Mogley, Kate Davis, Tabitha Barkowski, and Ava Stencil.
So I read the story. It's a leap of faith a little bit on the story because it involves a talking frog. So let's go with it. All right. So this frog was really wondering when he would ever meet his princess and how he would meet his princess. So the frog goes to a fortune teller. And the fortune teller reaches down to this frog and picks up the tiny little frog hand and reads the palm of the tiny little frog. And the fortune teller said, "I have good news and bad news." And so the frog goes, "Well, what's the good news?" "You shall meet your princess, and she will look at you and take you in, and you will open up to her, and and you will give your heart to her." And he goes, "That sounds wonderful. What's the bad news?" "You'll meet her in biology class." I got a couple of chuckles there. There you go. All right, now we're going to do another Highland fling. This one time, I believe, the 6th step. So also this can be a celebratory dance, and back in the day, they would literally dance on top of a shield. It was made out of wood and then covered with a tough hide, and then the back in deer or sheepskin. And it weighed maybe around 5 pounds. It was strong enough to withstand a thrust with a bayonet. And then the front would be decorated, and many times in the middle there would be a 5 to 6 inch spike in the middle. But the Highland fling, as you watch it, they're basically in a tight circle. So you maybe imagine this time not the deer action, but maybe thinking of these young dancers dancing on top of a shield in celebration of triumph. The Highland fling 6th step.
Dancing the Highland Fling 6th step is Madison Marzen, Hope Switzenberg, Evelyn Langworthy, Adeline Beck, and Becca Feldman.
So next up, we're going to have an extra set from the Twin Cities Metro Pipe Band, who are here again this year. And we are very blessed to have this outstanding band come down to Mapleton And I think just super high quality. And for those of you who love bagpipe music, I know you'll thoroughly enjoy it. The rest of you hang in there. But actually, they are fantastic, and I'm sure you'll be very impressed. The Twin Cities Metro Pipe Band.
yes, this has been a running joke in my band for 20 years. I'm just terrible about remembering which tunes. 'Cause so many tunes.
Outstanding, outstanding. Thank you. I heard this story from a friend of mine at work, but apparently he knew this older gentleman, quite a bit older, like probably in his 90s. But he got up one night and put a suit on, got all looking good, put a little aftershave on, cologne on, had his tie on, went down to kind of a higher end nightclub bar, kind of walks in and looks the bar over a little bit, and there's this elderly woman sitting at the bar by herself. So after a while, he moseys over, sits down, sits next to her, orders a drink, and he looks at her and goes, "Ma'am, could you tell me if I come here often?" Oh, come on, guys. Well, I guess that one does not go in the retread file. I think we're ready for another sword dance. Were you ready for another sword dance? Legend number 2 on the sword dance comes from 1054. Supposedly, Malcolm Camor danced over crossed swords in a victory or triumph. So, not a pre-battle dance, but a post-battle dance. So, here we go, the sword dance.
Dancing the sword dance is Isabel Ward and Megan Mogley.
Come off and their face kind of like, oh, it's over. It's over. So keeping in the animals that talk mode, did you hear about the 2 whales who went to a bar? And they're sitting down at the bar and the first whale goes, the second whale said, "Man, you are drunk." Maybe. All right. All right. Now we get into some of the other fun dances here. This is the sailor's hornpipe. And so this is really kind of a dance indicating maybe the sailor's life on a ship. And so you can start looking for some movements in the dance that indicate either pulling ropes, washing the deck, getting his paycheck, etc. So it's a super fun dance, so I hope you enjoy tonight's Sailor's Hornpipe.
Dancing the Sailor's Hornpipe is Shaylee Baird, Maya Garbus, Caitlin Switzenberg, and Ava Stencil, also our Bonnie Lass candidates.
Well, this is a spot for over 100 years that the Wills would sing songs, and I think Joanne right over there. Hi, Joanne. So over 100 years, plus we can't even count how many times the Wills did, but last year was their last performance, and so this year we're very fortunate to have the Fitzsimmons join us tonight and sing for us. The Fitzsimmons.
By side we stand like brothers, one for all and all together. We stand united through darker days. It will be unbeatable forever. Ireland, Ireland, together standing tall.
brother Pat, my brother John, my brother Bill, my brother Richard, my brother Mark, and then we have Leah Davis, and Lindsay, you were Bonnie last, weren't you, Lindsay? Yes. In the court, yep. Okay. So there's two people who I'd like to thank. We're missing one brother who passed away 2 years ago. He would have been with us for sure, our brother Tom. And these hats we're wearing are in honor of Tom Massup, who passed away last year, and this was his favorite top. So.
Come over the hills, my bonny Irish lass. Come over the hill to your darling. You choose the road, love, and I'll make the vow, and you'll be your true love forever. Red is the rose that in yonder garden grows. Fair is the lily of the valley. Clear is the water that flows from the Boyne. But my love is fairer than any.
'Twas down by Killarney's green woods that we strayed, when the moon and the stars they were shining. The moon shone its rays on her locks of golden hair, and she swore she'd be my love forever.
Red is the rose that in yonder garden grows. Fair is the lily of the valley. Clear is the water that flows from the Boyne. But my love is fairer than and the bagpipes. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found.
Well, that was just outstanding. Thank you so much. Give them another round of applause, quick. But, you know, I have done this MC gig a few times, and every time I've done it, I have sung 2 Jack Will songs. And as long as I get to stand up here, I'm just going to sing them. So the first is Mackay. I think many of you know it. When I do the chorus the second time, if you're brave enough or fun enough, just join in and sing with me. Is Bobby Housen here tonight? If Bobby loves to sing along with me, so we'll do that, and then we'll do a little song about a kilt. I just been blowing Mac away. He's the best I've ever seen. I mean Mackay, he's the first mate on the steamship Fairy Queen. He sails the world, he goes round 3 times a year. But every time his ship comes in, I'm standing on this pier. 'Cause I like Mackay, and Mackay likes me. I treat Mackay, then Mackay he treats me. I like Mackay, 'cause Mackay's true blue. And it's only when Mackay comes home that I have 1 or 2. 'Cause I like Mackay, and Mackay likes me. I treat Mackay, and then Mackay treats me. I like Mackay, 'cause Mackay's true blue. And it's only when Mackay comes home that I have 1 or 2. Thank you. A lot of people say the kilt is not the thing to wear. In fact, they say the kilt is out of date. But I've got certain reasons why I'm wearing mine, and so I'll tell you if you only care to wait. I used to have a pair of breeches before I met me wife, but after I've been wed a week or 3, I sold my trousers, bought this kilt. The reason was because, I'll tell you if you listen now to me, 'cause every night I used to hang me trousers up on the back of the bedroom door. I rue the day I must have been a jay. I don't hang on my bed anymore, 'cause every night my wife, she rambles through me pooches while I was fast asleep beneath me quilt. And in the morning when I woke, I was always stony broke. And that's the reason why I wear the kilt. I never would have found her out, but one night I get home, I was feeling a little queer about me head. But soon I was in the land of dreams, but then I wake at 3 to see her there a-standing up in bed. She said, "Whoosh, be quiet, there's burglars in the house. I'm searching through your pooches for a gun." I don't know if she was or not, but all I know is this: there was nothing in those pooches when she's done. 'Cause every night I used to hang me trousers up on the back of the bedroom door. I rue the day I must have been a jay. I don't hang on my bed anymore, 'cause every night my wife, she rambled through me pooches while I was fast asleep beneath me quilt. And in the morning when I woke, I was always stony broke. And that's the reason why I wear the kilt. Thank you for indulging me. Thank you. How about some dancing? We're going to jump right back into the chartreuse dance. This dance, we believe, If you think back to the Jacobites uprising in 1745, and the Brits put the old Act of Prescription on the Scots, meaning they could not wear their colors. And that lasted until 1783. And when that was repealed, it's believed that this dance came shortly thereafter. And as you'll watch, they're dancing and they're pulling on their pants because they can't wear the kilts. And then the song turns to a Highland fling melody, and they go into a Highland fling at the end. So tonight, Chartreuse.
Dancing the Chartreuse is Emma Lux, Merritt Ward, and Hallie Hines.
All right, we're going to bring the screen down for a couple more memory lanes from past Miss Bonnie Lasses. While that happens, here it comes. This elderly woman walked into a pet store, and she noticed this parrot and over in the corner, and she said to the owner, "Oh, I see you have a parrot. I'd love to buy that parrot." And does it talk? And the owner says, "Yeah, he talks, and you don't want to buy this parrot." And she goes, "Well, I do." But he goes, "No, you don't. It swears. It's got a bad mouth. It's a bad parrot." And she goes, "I can teach that parrot lessons." And he says, "I warned you." And so she pays for it, takes the parrot home. And sure enough, it's not even there 10 minutes. Squawk, out comes a bad word. And the woman takes the parrot out of the cage into her freezer for 10 seconds. So then she takes it out, puts it in there. "Have you learned your lesson?" And about, out comes another bad word. So she takes that parrot back in the freezer, 30 seconds this time. Pretty long time. She brings out the bird. The bird is cold. She puts it in. "Have you learned your lesson now?" And the bird's like, "Yes, I learned my lesson, but I want to know what you did to the chicken." I think Jeff saw that one coming like that, 2 words into that joke. Anyway, we're going to have Miss Bonnie Lasses from 1994, Angie Trio, and 1984, Kim Brocker.
Good evening to everyone here at Burns Night or watching from home. My name is Angie Trio, and 30 years ago, I had the privilege of being named Miss Bonnie Lass. And yes, I had to do the math on that a few times because I couldn't believe that was true. It's actually been 30 years. But as I thought about making this video, I was reminded of the journey I've been on since my Bonnie Lass days. Currently, I call New Jersey home, but we've taken some unexpected detours to get here. While living in New York 20-some years ago, I met my husband, Lars Jepsen, who you can maybe tell from the name, but he's from Denmark. And we ended up moving back to Copenhagen and living and working there for about 6 years. And that's where our 2 kids, Oscar and Freya, were born. They're now 16 and 14. We moved back stateside a little more than 10 years ago, landing in New Jersey, but as everyone I've ever met over the last 20 plus years knows, I'm still a Minnesota farm girl at heart and always will be. So that's a little bit about me, but tonight is about this year's Bonnie Lass contestants. And to all of you, I hope you've enjoyed the journey so far and enjoy the rest of tonight. And just remember to tuck away the unique experiences you're gaining, not just tonight, but all the things that make growing up in and around Mapleton so special. Whether it's being a Miss Bonnie Lass contestant, or having a go at curling, or Scottish dancing, or just being part of Burns Night and having an appreciation for the bagpipes like we all do. These are the real gems that make your story so special. And that's true for me 30 years down the road. I'd like to send a thank you to the Maple River Burns Club for giving me the opportunity to be there tonight with you all in this quick trip down memory lane. But most of all, best of luck to the Bonnie Lass contestants, and have a good night, everyone.
Hello, Mapleton. My name is Kim Brocker-Hart, Miss Bonnie Lass, 1984. After graduating from Mapleton High School, I completed a degree in microbiology at the University of Minnesota, which led me to a career in oncology in a variety of roles within the pharmaceutical industry, such as preclinical and clinical research, developing scientific publications, and finally, patient advocacy, which is what I've been doing for the past number of years now. My husband Jerry and I have been married for 29 years, and we had the opportunity to live abroad for 6 years in Europe, living in Darmstadt, Germany, and in Lugano, Switzerland with my job. We're back in the United States and currently living in Clearwater, Florida. Being Miss Bonnie Lass was truly such an incredible honor, representing Mapleton and our Scottish heritage. Going out for Miss Bonnie Lass gave me the opportunity to learn and practice many life skills from Mrs. Vobble, Jeannie McCabe, and the Queen's Committee. They provided a foundation to learn etiquette, such as proper table manners and how to engage in adult conversations as part of our dinner with the judges, walking with poise, as well as interviewing skills. I remember all of us being so nervous at the tea for our interviews. I didn't realize at the time how valuable these experiences would be throughout my life and my career. Embarking on the year with Susan Soley and Terry Jenkins, we were able to participate in summer parades and events such as curling banquets, which provided the opportunity to develop speaking skills and attend civic events, which instilled a responsibility in helping serve our local community. Even though we were a bit warm at a few of the parades, our plaid kilts were a source of pride, always distinguishing us as being from Mapleton. The year increased a strong sense of pride in our Scottish heritage and community, which carried beyond Mapleton into my future. Jerry and I were invited to become members of Clan McThomas and attended international clan gatherings in Pitlochry, Scotland, several times. Each trip to Scotland has been an opportunity to tell people about Mapleton and how we keep the spirit of Robert Burns alive each year. I would like to thank the Mapleton community for preserving this beautiful tradition, as well as the Miss Bonnie Lass Committee, the Mapleton Area Chamber of Commerce, and the Heather Curling Club. And to this year's candidates, thank you for going out and supporting the Miss Bonnie Lass program. I wish you the very best tonight. And to those of you who will go on to represent Mapleton in the coming year, embrace this experience and the opportunities that it brings in becoming part of the fabric of this wonderful tradition.
Now is the time of the program where we take just a minute or so to think of all of our friends, relatives, family that have passed before us. So tonight I'm thinking my dear dad Bill, Margaret and Leroy. I'm sure you have a few names in your hearts also. Now we'll move immediately into, I believe it's our final sword dance, the Jacobite sword dance tonight. And with that, we'll ask our dancers to come out.
Dancing the Jacobite sword dance is Kira Springer, Aubrey Will, Macy Sorey, Madison Ward, Olivia Sellers, and Allie Boning.
They were really good. Give them another round of applause. They were really good. Now we're going to move into probably one of my favorite dances, the Irish jig. A couple of things. One, this is going to be the senior Canmore Kilty dancers are performing this tonight, so this might be their last time to perform on the stage at Burns Night. So make sure you give them an extra round of applause at the end of this dance. The Irish jig is really a Scottish version of an Irish jig, and it kind of depicts an angry washwoman. And again, things that you can look for is knocking her clean wash and waving her fists and because her husband's been out drinking all night. So it's a lot of fun, flash, and pageantry in this one. And our senior dancers are coming out to do the Irish jig.
The Irish jig tonight is Auden Yeager, Madison Wellborn, and Ellie Broughton.
We're almost down to our last dance of the night, but did you hear the one about the invisible man who married the invisible woman? Yeah, their kids weren't much to look at either. Our final Highland fling tonight. Here we go.
Dancing the Highland Fling tonight is Delaney Stencil and Rebecca Walters, but it won't look exactly like the first 6-step fling that you saw. They're doing 6 steps, but each of them are doing different steps at different times.
right, the curling awards are coming up next, and we're going to mix it up a little bit this year also. They're going to bring down the screen again. Jeff Annis is going to come out and read the winning rinks to everybody versus having everybody come on stage. But while this comes down, I went over and watched the Twin Cities Marathon a couple of years ago. You know, and sometimes people are less serious about running than others, and they'll wear costumes or whatever. Anyway, I saw this one runner in a chicken outfit and another runner in an egg outfit. And I thought to myself, this could be interesting. I know it's late at night, but that wasn't that hard to pick up. All right, here comes Jeff for the Curling Awards.
Test. Welcome again. This year, our women played in the USWCA All-American Pins, and we had 7 teams competing. And this year, the runner-up team was the Jaeger rink, represented by Megan Linder, Cheryl Olson, Mackenzie Drager, Tammy Schmidt, and also not pictured that also played throughout the week was Jen Yeager, Debbie Gardner, and Nicole Rue. Winning the women's pin playdown was the Annis rink of Linda Annis, Julie Willis, Nicole Bangasser, and Ashley Hagan. For the men, we had 16 teams that played throughout the week and completed. And the reason I'm here is because they said whoever lost in the finals had to announce the team, so here I am. Winning the third event was the Jared Moore rink with Jared Moore, Nathan Moore, Jake Garbus, and Thomas Ward. Winning the second event was the Passmore rink of Russell Passmore, Trevor Lemon, Jackson Sellers, and Blake Wold. And your first event runner-up was my rink, Jeff Annis, Adam Annis, Aaron Annis, Steve Annis, and Tim Kennedy. And winning this 2024 Burns was the running rink with Tyler Running, Cole Yeager, Kyle Tim, Andrew Knutson, and not shown also Tyler Lemon. So congratulations to the running rink. Thank you.
So Jeff finished second, okay. But anyway, I think we're gonna raise the lights here a little bit, and something else we wanna do just to recognize any other past queens or courts that are in attendance tonight. Please feel free to stand up and let us acknowledge you. There's gotta be a couple. There's some, wow. Wow. We don't make you come up on stage and tell everybody how old you are anymore. I think that's right. Okay, we're going to go into our final video of Past Queens, and this is from 1974, Julie Yunker.
Hello, Maple River Burns Club. It's Julie Yunker Zett, hailing from Waunakee, Wisconsin. I live here with my husband, John, and our 5 children we raised have ended up in Texas and Minnesota. We also are fortunate enough to have 5 grandchildren. We own our own carpet cleaning business and do the work as well. It was a great honor to be crowned Miss Bonnie Lass in 1974, 50 years ago. Along with our court, Karen Morris, Chris Clogus, and Robin Kruer. We had such fun representing the area, and I think our favorite parade has to be Festag, because we felt like we were so welcomed and we knew everyone who lined the streets. I wish all the contestants this year the best of luck, and to know that you're doing a great service for your community. Thank you to the Maple River Burns Club for this opportunity, and I wish you all the very best.
It's one of those moments, I don't know if our reigning court is quite ready to come on stage yet. Or are we doing a video for them? Well, we figure it out. This young person was having a talk with God and said, God, I hear that to you, 1 billion years is like a second. And God said, yes. And he says, God, to you, I hear like $1 billion is like a penny. And God said, yes. So he said, God, can you give me a penny? And God said, do you have a second? All right. So now is the time for our reigning Miss Bonnie Lass Court to come on stage. And I think there's a slideshow, and they're going to talk a little bit. So let me get you a mic. They teach you this in MC school. There we go.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry, I'm still trying to catch my breath from the dance. But I'm going to review a little bit of what our year was like with a little slide presentation. So it started off with Burns Night last year. We got crowned and we did the Sailor's Hornpipe. If any of you were here, you may remember. It was a night to remember, obviously. I'll never forget it. Well, maybe some of it because adrenaline, but you know how it is. And then throughout our whole year, we met so many royalty. This slide really doesn't do it justice. We met so many people, and we got to talk to so many different courts who have tons of different traditions and town festivities. So that came along with our parades. We did 10 parades. We only got rained out on the one. I'll never forget it because it messed up my kilt. So the weather was really nice for us. It wasn't too hot, it wasn't too cold. It did get a little toasty with these vests, but it was, so many memories this year. Along with those memories came events we did. We did Town and Country Days, obviously, Jesse James Day. We did the first ever Mapleton Open, which was really fun. We did so many dinners. Our first event was the Easter egg hunt. So cold, so cold. I was wearing gloves, and I kind of look really cold in that picture. But it was super fun. My favorite event was probably Jesse James Day. We were there the whole day. We attended the Minnesota's largest Queen's Tea. There was like 20 plus courts there. It was crazy. But I'm gonna let Auden share what her favorite things were.
Hi everyone, I'm Auden Yeager, first runner-up. My favorite things were helping with loaves and fishes. It was awesome to have the opportunity to just help people in the Maple River area. And I also loved every parade. My favorite was Defeat of Jesse James Days, as well as Ellie's. And everything, it was just a really cool experience. Thank you, everyone.
We'd like to give a special thanks to the Burns Club, the Heather Curling Club, the Maple River Chamber of Commerce, Mandy Byram, who was like our point woman. She told us where to be, when to be. It was a whole thing. but she helped us get through all of it. The Queen's Committee for putting on our tea that we went to earlier today, and our parents for driving us around in those parades and dealing with us complaining the whole time about the heat and like, oh, it's so hot. And thank you to all of you. I mean, there wouldn't be a Burns program without the attendees. So thank you very much for our year as Miss Bonnie Lass Court of 2023. Thank you.
All right, we're almost to that moment of the evening that I'm sure at least some people in this auditorium are quite anxious about. But before we have our contestants step back onto the stage, I want to recognize and introduce our 3 judges for the Miss Bonnie Lass contest. They were Becky Klein-Otten, Tracy Walters-Hurley, and Pamela Brocker-Steffel, judges right in front of me, critiquing my every move. And are you ready to hand me the sealed envelope? All right. Top secret. So with that, if our Miss Bonnie Lass contestants would step on the stage. What do you glue this with? Oops. All right, first is Miss Congeniality. Bailey Bear. All right, next is second runner up. Caitlin Switzenberg. All right, first runner up. Ayla Stencil. We still have suspense for Miss Bonnie Lass 2024.
Everybody. I would like to thank the Maple River Chamber of Commerce, the Maple River Burns Club, and the Heather Curling Club, and these beautiful ladies. I'm so happy and honored to be able to do this with them. I couldn't have asked for better girls to do this with. I want to thank my mom and dad. They encouraged me to do this, and my dad said it's great character building. Thank you all for coming.
Ladies. Round of applause. All right, we're going to give our piper 12 seconds to finish that, run over to the band, and come in to do the tattoo. So I'm going to vamp for just a minute or half a minute, not even going to tell you another joke. I'm going to prep you for the Auld Lang Syne that we're going to do here in just a couple of minutes. And so have you ever wondered, I mean, I've said this before, but it's easy to forget, you know, what does Auld Lang Syne mean? What are we singing? What are we singing about? It really means something like times gone by, remembering times long since past. Like times long since past that we shared together and we remember fondly. So it's pretty logical, but when you sing Auld Lang Syne tonight, maybe that'll help you think about what we're singing about. And maybe we've made one more memory tonight. So, the tattoo from the Twin Cities Metro Pipe Band. He's not here yet. I didn't vamp on that. I'm looking this way. I see a bunch of pipers behind me. No, okay, now I'm off. have all of our performers join us on stage here. You guys can all stand up, interlock hands while we all sing Auld Lang Syne in just a moment. Come on, come on. You guys can go up front. Don't hesitate. Go ahead. Go ahead. Good night, everybody.